Now, ladies and gentlemen, I have always been given my reason why I support the Jamaica Labour Party compared with the People's National Party. And here's why. You know, ladies and gentlemen, in order to build a country, if somebody, one administration had laid the foundation, the other administration should come and continue where the other administration has left off. Now, Mr. Golding have this bright idea, ladies and gentlemen, to scale down on what the Jamaica Labour Party is doing instead of building on what the Jamaica Labour Party is doing and add to it, ladies and gentlemen, his ideas. He wants to scale down and then implement policies, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to take us way back to the days, ladies and gentlemen, when everybody is saying we are suffering. Ladies and gentlemen, I know that you have one and two people saying it right now that they are suffering, but let me tell you this, they are not being honest when they say they are suffering. Anybody, ladies and gentlemen, that is suffering now, it is because they choose to suffer. They want to suffer. That's why they are suffering right now. And the reason why I say that, ladies and gentlemen, it's because skills training program are there up to the 4th level where you are literally paid to get trained, because you get a stipend plus you get money in your account so that when you finish training you can either start a business or, ladies and gentlemen, you can do something meaningful with your life. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if the People's National Party says that they're going to scale down on some of the things that the Jamaica Labour Party have implemented so that they can bring about their ideas instead of building on what the Jamaica Labour Party have started and then add their ideas to it, they want to disband it completely and then come with their ideas, because according to them, the people do not vote them in for them to continue with the policies of the Jamaica Labour Party, but to change the policy of the Jamaica Labour Party. Now, ladies and gentlemen, you know that this is what they always do whenever they go into power. They always undo what the Jamaica Labour Party have done. So if the Jamaica Labour Party have been growing the economy, they stop the growth of the economy through bad policy. And when I said bad policies, I'm talking about heavy taxation on the citizens, ladies and gentlemen. When you put taxes on imported things, when you give JPS monopoly license, ladies and gentlemen, when you close down factories and all of these stuff, when you, through your mismanagement of the country's finances, causes business to close down, ladies and gentlemen, these are the things that set back the economy and cause poverty to rise. Because when business places are closing down, then a lot of persons will now start being out of work, ladies and gentlemen. Now, why do I choose and why do I choose the Jamaica Labour Party, and why do I encourage people to stick with the government? Ladies and gentlemen, the administration of the Jamaica Labour Party is growing the economy. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, sometimes the People's National Party have some very good ideas. What did the Jamaica Labour Party do when those ideas are presented? They implement them, because, ladies and gentlemen, any citizen of Jamaica that have a good idea and you put it out there and it catch the Prime Minister's attention, he is going to implement it because he is working for us, ladies and gentlemen. So nothing is wrong if somebody have a good idea and put it out there and the Prime Minister catch it. It doesn't matter if the opposition want to say that the Prime Minister is stealing ideas. He stole ideas too from the JLP manifesto, because some of the things that I see in the PNP's manifesto are things that are already in place, or things, ladies and gentlemen, that the Prime Minister have discussed in his last election campaign, in his manifesto during the last election campaign, like tax, like to remove the tax from the gratuity and from tips for hotel workers. That was in the JLP manifesto during the last election, ladies and gentlemen. And when you talk about insurance for farmers and all of that, that's already in place, ladies and gentlemen. When they talk about one free meal for students, for students, ladies and gentlemen, who at least one free meal for needy student, you have PATH, ladies and gentlemen. It's already in place. PATH is already doing it. When you see them trying to say, and they are trying to justify it too, you know, that they rather the taxes are carrying the children, the rural children, because there are some terrain that the buses cannot go. I beg to disagree with that, ladies and gentlemen. Reason why I disagree with that: if you should implement the taxi service, ladies and gentlemen, it would have to be a taxi service that the government owned. And the government already owned a bus system called the JUTC, the Jamaica Urban Transit Company. Because, ladies and gentlemen, if you're gonna say that you're gonna pay a private man to transport the children, it leaves room for corruption. Because what you're gonna find out, it's gonna be even more expensive than to use the government-owned bus company to do it. It's gonna be more expensive, ladies and gentlemen. It's gonna cost about over $1 billion. Maybe I even put it even low. It's gonna cost over $1 billion per month if they should go that route. Ladies and gentlemen, nothing is wrong with having the regular rural taxi operators transporting the children to a certain point where they can get the JUTC buses. It will cost them a lot less than when they have to pay the taxi to take them, the full taxi fare to take them all the way to their schools, because some taxi drivers they have no heart, ladies and gentlemen. They want to charge the children adult fare. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this idea might not be many persons may not see it as workable. The same way I am saying that paying taxes to carry the children, that is, ladies and gentlemen, the dumbest idea I have ever heard. It's better the children have a structured rural bus system, because those buses carry children, ladies and gentlemen. They only carry children. They don't carry adults, just the children alone they carry. The children pay one low fare. They are talking about terrain and all of that. It's Jamaica we live in. And the drivers that they are using on those buses, ladies and gentlemen, are Jamaican drivers. No matter what terrain that those buses have to tread, the drivers are trained. I've seen them doing their training with the buses. The drivers are trained. They're not international drivers who don't know Jamaican road. It is Jamaican drivers that will be driving those buses. So when they are saying that certain terrain, buses can't go there, they are being ridiculous, ladies and gentlemen. So what am I saying? I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen, do not, if the PNP, if Mr. Golding ever become Prime Minister, as we would say in our Jamaican language, dog nyam we supper. In other words, ladies and gentlemen, we're going right back into poverty and joblessness. And what you're going to find out, the country is going to go right back to the IMF. They're going to go right back in debt, because, ladies and gentlemen, the PNP policies will bankrupt and undo what and